we're talking about the Seahawks because DeMarcus Lawrence feels that they have a much better chance at winning a Super Bowl than the Dallas Cowboys do. And I think our point is right now, we don't even know if the Seahawks are a top team in the NFC at this point, where people don't know if they're building or tearing it down, yet DeMarcus Lawrence joins them in free agency and sees them as a much more viable option than the Dallas Cowboys. So it's not you ripping on Jerry Jones and the lack of moves that they made, or me ripping on Jerry Jones. It's the fact that you now have a player who spent his entire career in Dallas, does an interview saying, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. Micah Parsons has responded to this video clip and quote tweeted, quote X'd, whatever you want to say, says, this is what rejection and envy look like. This is some clown bleep. DeMarcus Lawrence, within the last 30 minutes, has responded saying, calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told you the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left.
Oh, that's the first time I heard that.
It is on. It is on. So now we've got the Micah Parsons tweeting, nothing about his podcast or anything yet, but that could come. So DeMarcus Lawrence is saying that Micah Parsons isn't focused. So now if you're DeMarcus Lawrence, who has been there so long, maybe you're in essence saying that Jerry Jones and the regime that was there let stuff fly that they shouldn't have let fly. There are so many underlying issues. And I know I'm going to come out of left field with this, and I'm sorry I'm going to make a food reference, but I've realized who the Dallas Cowboys are. And the Dallas Cowboys
meal
are
that you have to eat out of the garbage because you're too broke to do anything else?
No. The Dallas Cowboys are Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut used to be the apple of anyone my age's eye. I'm late 40s. If you're in your 40s, going to Pizza Hut when you were a kid, absolute bliss. The pizza was magnificent. The atmosphere, Aaron Torres, was magnificent. It was the place to be. It was also expensive as heck. Like the Pizza Hut, it was like $20 a pizza back then. This is 30 years ago. This is 35 years ago. Long time ago. But it was so good. You would go to the Pizza Hut because delivery wasn't really available, at least in my hometown. So you had sit-down Pizza Huts. Those have now all gone away. Pizza Hut also has kind of changed their recipe. Actually, they completely have changed their recipe. It does not taste the same anymore. But you know what Pizza Hut does? They sell you on nostalgia.
Sure.
You go to their website, you see the red cups that you drank while sitting in the restaurant when you were a kid. You see the lamps that were over your table when you were eating as a kid, all trying to trick you. You see the same tablecloth, the red and white crisscross tablecloth. You see that on their website now because guess what? They want you to think that this is the same Pizza Hut that it was 30 and 40 years ago. And what DeMarcus Lawrence is telling you is that it's not the same Pizza Hut. It's not the Dallas Cowboys. So much so that I spent my entire career with the Dallas Cowboys, and I couldn't wait to get out. And I'm going to a team that didn't even make the playoffs last year, and I think they have a better chance at making the Super Bowl than what they've got going on in Dallas. That's my food analogy on this DeMarcus Lawrence Dallas Cowboys situation.
The only counter that I would have, I don't think Pizza Hut's fallen off nearly as much as the Dallas Cowboys have. I also don't. Now I'm not being sarcastic. Well, I guess I don't think that the audience, I don't think that the consumer is fooled by the Dallas Cowboys anymore. I think this has been, and I've heard these numbers cited on some of our other radio shows here on Fox Sports Radio, but attendance has been down at the training camp that we have not far from where we are in upstate Ventura,
Oxnard.
Oxnard area. Attendance is down. I've seen people cite the athletic poll where Cowboys fans don't believe they're a Super Bowl contender, and I'm not even being sarcastic. I feel like the only person that thinks the Cowboys are a contender right now is Jerry Jones. No sarcasm. I mean, apparently Micah Parsons, but I've used this analogy, not this analogy, but this story on my show is my nephew is young. He's younger than me. He's about, 20, 22 years old. Lifelong Cowboys fan. He's too young to have remembered the glory days with Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and all that.
So he's too young to remember any glory with the Cowboys.
Any glory. No doubt. And but he's been glasses half full. He used to come visit me here in California. We went up to Oxnard a few times. And he's always been glasses half full. And I was in Connecticut this fall, and this was even before the Dak injury. And I was like, "How you feeling, man?" They got off to not great start. I seem to remember a blowout against the Saints early in the season, a blowout against the Ravens that they cut close and made it look respectable, even though it wasn't. But I just remember, this was before Dak got hurt. He's like, it's awful. He's like, I know we have no shot. Our quarterback is stuck with us long term. Our quarterback isn't the answer. Ownership doesn't help. And it was more of a Jerry thing than a Dak thing. But the only reason I don't totally agree with your analogy is because I don't think anyone, like, we know what Pizza Hut is, and I don't think Pizza Hut is trying to sell us that they are.
Don't disagree with the analogy, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you weren't old enough, or you're too young to remember what Pizza Hut meant to us. And that star on that helmet, Aaron Torres, is a symbol that so many grew up with. And now Dallas is trying to regurgitate the same thing that Pizza Hut does with their awful pizza. It is so disappointing. We remember the glory days. I even asked Bree, who I think is younger than you, and she said, yeah, she's never been a fan of Pizza Hut. You probably have never been a fan of Pizza Hut.
But I don't remember it being like
it was the cat's meow. I am telling you, of pizza places, because there weren't 87 chains either, but Pizza Hut was what it was. And now what Pizza Hut tries to tell you is, remember all this stuff that's old, completely ignoring the fact that their ingredients just aren't good anymore. And they take stuff and they try to redo it over and over again. And I feel that's the Cowboys. Their ingredients aren't good. They've got like 3 good players. They've got a good thin crust pepperoni. That's it. That's all that they've got. And they're trying to still sell us on the lore of the star and everything that comes with it when it hasn't been that way for 30 years.
Yeah, that's fair. The only thing I think they are trying to sell us. I just don't think anybody is buying it. I know Micah Parsons has to say the company line, but I just, it's just amazing to me is that, like, first of all, and I think these are conversations we're gonna have throughout the summer into the fall. One, I think they might be legitimately one of the worst teams in the league, but I don't ever remember a season going into a season where there was just no reason to have excitement. Brian Schottenheimer was not a candidate for any other head coaching job. On top of all of the other things that got screwed up, that Jerry Jones has screwed up the last couple of years, that coaching search was as big of an abomination as anything that I have ever seen in professional sports. You frankly wait 2 to 3 years, probably too late, to fire Mike McCarthy. Then the season tanks. Then he does just enough for you to consider keeping him, and then you wait till after the season. The point I'm trying to make, I just think that I don't think we can undersell how big of an abomination that search was, if you want to call it a search, that coaching hire, and the residual effect of, I don't think the Cowboys are relevant going into 2025. I just don't.
I don't think so either. But I also think that people would take 8 other spots before they order Pizza Hut. They would rather take local chains. Are you a Domino's or Pizza Hut guy? Do you do either?
Not really. I would take Pizza Hut.
Can I ask around, Shay, are you a Domino's or are you a Pizza Hut guy? If you had to pick one. Shay?
I love the Pizza Hut stuffed crust.
So you're a Pizza Hut guy.
Yeah. Pizza Hut.
All right.
I remember when Monty lost a bet with me and had to buy Pizza Hut for the whole place. Sorry, Brie, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just poking Monty because she lost that bet.
Are you a Pizza Hut person?
I am an all pizza person.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Domino's went and they said, here's garlic parm bites.
Done.
Yes. Here are cinnamon twists.
Like, am I going to buy a $7, Little Caesars pizza? Hey, if it's nearby, sure. Absolutely. I don't discriminate.
But they all mix in the same. Pizza Hut just takes the same stuff and tries to make it all over again. Like, you've got other teams, other brands are passing them by because they're just sitting there living in the past like the Dallas Cowboys are. And it took DeMarcus Lawrence going to Seattle again, to a non-Super Bowl contender, to basically say what everybody else was saying. No former Cowboys were saying this. No one was saying this. But as you said, you feel that everybody believes that the Cowboys are a joke. I agree. I think that everybody does, except the Dallas Cowboys. But now you have a former player who spent his entire career there who's going out and saying, yeah, you're not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. And the place that he's going isn't even on your radar of teams in the NFC that have a chance to make the playoffs or maybe go to the Super Bowl. I think that's even more of an indictment on the Dallas Cowboys than it is on DeMarcus Lawrence's new team of the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks not in Torres' top 3 Super Bowl. I don't want to spoil all of our July and August content. By the way, Bree, I completely cut you off. Are you a Pizza Hut person or no? I'm so rude.
I'm neither. I love round table pizza.
There you go.
There
See,
you go.
round table's just the round table's the Eagles, and and Domino's are the 49ers or the Lions or all these other teams that are taking over them. It's just there was a point when Pizza Hut was what it was, and just like the Dallas Cowboys were something, and it is no more. Man, DeMarcus Lawrence, though, the shot at Micah Parsons personally at the end, tweeting too much.
I will say in the jersey swap era, I love when guys actually go at each other, and that was pretty awesome.
That was magnificent. All right, he's Aaron Torres. I'm Dan Beyer. We are in for Jason Smith and Mike Harmon doing a little nighttime work. You're more used to the evening than I am, so this is fun. I'm excited.
I would say during the week I get up at about 5:30 every day, so I'm not totally used to the evenings. But yes, you can hear me
When you're here at work.
Oh
though.
yeah, no doubt.